In this video, we're going to show you how to set up a third-party provider. It looks like a lot of screens at first. It is really only 3 questions. Who are they? Where may they book? And who is allowed to sign in? A third party is any organization that sits between you and the money, or between you and the patient. An insurer, a private hospital whose theatre you use, a clinic that refers to you, an embassy, a company account. You will find them all under Theatre Central. Open the Theatre Central menu. Then choose third-party providers. This is the register. 1 row for each organization you deal with. The direction column tells you who invoices whom, and a private hospital is usually both because you invoice them for your work and they invoice you for the theatre. The menu on the left has 2 halves. The work lists at the top are things somebody has to deal with today. The configuration underneath is how it is all wired up, and you will set most of that once and rarely touch it again. Let us add one. We will use a medical insurer as the example. Give them the name you actually use day to day. Bupa, not Bupa Insurance Services Limited. This is the name you will see on your work lists, and the one that goes on their paperwork. The code is optional. If your finance team already has a short code for them, put it here. Choose what kind of organization they are. You can add your own kinds later. An embassy, a charity, a sports club, whatever you actually deal with. Then the direction, and at least one of the 2 is required. We invoice them means they owe you money. They invoice us means you owe them. An insurer is usually the first one only, and it is already ticked for you. A private hospital would be both. Underneath are the payment terms, days from the invoice date, and whatever you have actually agreed with them. Then where their invoices should be sent. There is a second box beside it for the address their remittances come back from. This next box is small, but it reaches a long way. Whatever you type here replaces the word deposit everywhere the patient sees it, for this payer only. An insurer's patients read excess, a self-payer still reads deposit. Leave the 3 boxes beside it blank. Velastria works out the plural, the lowercase version, and whether the word needs an A or an AN in front of it. You only fill those in when the word is irregular, then add the provider. A provider is an organization. A contact is a person at it. You need at least one, because a way in is given to a named person, never to a whole company. Add whoever you actually deal with there, their first name and their last name. Now the email address, and this one matters more than it looks. It says optional, and technically it is, but a person without one cannot be given a way in later, because the sign-in link would have nowhere to go. It is much easier to type it now than to work out in 3 weeks why somebody's link never arrived. Set a role as well, so the next person knows who to ring. Billing, pre-authorization, complaints, or the account manager. Then add the contact. This is the step people skip, and then wonder why the provider tells them there is nothing there. A new provider can book nowhere at all until you say so. Nothing is switched on for them by default. You get every location your calendar already uses, with 3 questions against each one. May they hold theatre time here? May they put patients into it? And should their bookings wait for somebody here to approve them? This provider only ever books theatre time, so tick sessions against the theatre. And tick patient appointments as well, so they can put their patients into the session once they hold it. Leave the authorization column ticked unless this is an organization you would happily let book straight into your diary unsupervised. Then save the permissions. Now the second closed door. Nobody at that organization can sign in until you name them individually. Open provider access and pick the provider. Choose Bupa from the list. Every contact you added appears here, and against each one you say what they may do. A booking contact can hold sessions and put patients into them. You can also allow only one of those, or give somebody a view with no ability to change anything at all. Save it, and from that moment that named person can sign in. Anyone showing as needing an email address first simply has no address on their record yet. Go back to the provider page, add one, and they will appear here properly. A provider booking theatre time has to say whose list it is, and they pick from a list you control, Nobody else is offered to them. Add the practitioners this provider is allowed to name. You can tie somebody to one location, or leave them available anywhere the provider may book. An empty list here stops them booking a session at all. They would have nobody to name, and a session cannot go into your diary without a surgeon on it. If a provider ever tells you the booking form will not go through, this is the first thing worth checking. Before you tell anybody they are set up, look at this panel. It works the answer out using the same rules the real thing uses, so it cannot quietly disagree with what the provider actually gets. It tells you 3 things: whether anybody can sign in yet, whether the provider has anywhere to book, and whether there is someone for them to name at each location. If any of those is missing, you have skipped a step, and this is where you find out, rather than the provider finding out for you. The Booking Page tab is the page itself. There is one switch that pauses it for everybody at once, without you having to take away anyone's access one at a time. If you pause it, they see a short message saying so, not an error. You can put your own logo and button color on it, picked from the logos you have already uploaded. The address to give your providers is right here with a copy button beside it. There is no password to hand out. They type their email and we send them a link. So what happens when they actually use it? Session requests land in pending authorizations, and nothing reaches your diary until you decide. Here is one from Riverside Hospital. You can see who asked, the date, the times, which theatre, and how many cases they expect. What you cannot see is an approve button you can press because it is greyed out. The reason is written underneath in words rather than hidden in a tooltip. Nobody hovers. There is no surgeon on it yet, and a session cannot go into the diary without one. So add a surgeon from the list. And now it can be approved. The line underneath tells you exactly what approving will do, which matters because 2 surgeons on one request means 2 sessions on the same day rather than 1. Leave the box ticked and the provider gets an email confirming it. If the room has since been taken, you are offered the shorter window that is still free instead. And the email tells them the time's changed. So, 3 questions. Who are they? Where may they book? And who is allowed to sign in? Everything else in the module hangs off those 3. The money side, what each insurer will pay, and what a claim needs on it, has a guide of its own.